Good morning, my friends. I wanted to do a sifter comparison. I got a sifter set for Christmas, and you guys know that I put out a couple sifter videos already. The first one was my kerfuffle on not being very good at this, and the second one was I figured out kind of what I was doing and the shake, 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 tap, tap, tap method. And this is actually a comparison of all the different things that I've taken and I've sifted. And I wanted to show you that, and let me recall for you that it actually is a sifter. It's a base. It comes with 4 different screens, and these screens just pop out and they just drop in. So it was very well made. I think I paid I think it was $24 or $28, and it was on Amazon. It was easy to look up. It was just a sifter set. It's approximately that's 8 inches. It's about 14 inches across. It doesn't fit on a 5-gallon bucket. I'll show you why. It's because if you think you're going to get it on there, it's too big for the bucket. And so what I did is this is a 20-gallon grow bag, and I have it in there. You see, I haven't even turned it inside out yet, but I have it in there, and it works really, really super great way to go, and it keeps it all much more contained in here. And so let me start you out here with this is some old soil. Let me not get too confused, but this is some old soil. And so it was Miracle Grow that I had, and I had my plants growing in it. I had some worm castings. You know, it's been fertilized, and it's probably the plants were last season and the season before, and they were plants that I had all on my back porch. I had ones on the front porch that had amaryllis in it, and they were allowed to grow, and they were over the season, and of course then they just kind of amaryllis just take over in the pot, and so it's almost like they eat the it's like they use the soil, and so you really aren't getting a whole lot of nutritious soil left. So it all kind of needed to be reworked, revamped, revived. So anyway, each one got brought in and put in. I had them in a big container, and that soil kind of dried out, and it needed, like I said, it needed to be reworked. So now this is the 1/8, but let me just take you over here first and show you that I took that soil and I ran it through. This is the 1/2-inch grate, and you can see this was what came through, and I could use it again and just revamp it, but it was just any stones that came out. How stones get into potting soil, I don't want to venture a guess. Anyway, and this is the 3/8, and you can see that was just things that fell into the pot that came out. I mean, my stuff sits out in the front yard, so if things fall, or if Rick is running the mower by it, then I'm sure little stones could come up, and no insults against Miracle Grow. And then this is the 1/4 inch, 2/8 of an inch, and you can see it's a finer, and more things came out of it, more like little wood chips that would have been maybe in the Miracle Grow. And then of course this is the 1/8 inch, and let me just walk you back over. My back porch is a disaster. I'm too embarrassed to show you the whole thing because I have several projects going. Anyway, this is the 1/8. This is the 1/8 inch, and isn't this beautiful? I mean, this is great enough that, to me, this is what I would pay extra money for potting, for seedling soil. Can you see some little blue? That's the fertilizer that was put in there. And Miracle Grow does. You know, this was the extra special potting soil that I bought a couple years ago, a year ago, and it still had fertilizer in it. The other thing I wanted to show you was my worm castings, which this is why I bought the sifter set in the first place, because I see everybody do their castings. Well, not everybody, but I see many of you do your castings with a sifter, and I think, oh, you know, my back is killing me. I really gotta try this. But I harvest my castings. They're much too wet. So some of the stuff coming off the top, now that I know a better way of harvesting them, you know, letting them dry out a little bit. So what I'm doing here is I'm really just kind of letting these dry out enough so that they don't really clump up in the sifter, which they were in the beginning. And so each day I come out and I try to fluff this a little bit and try and get a little bit more air in it. And each time I do it, I'm finding more little worms in there. Is that a little worm? What do you know? Look at that. Come here, little worm. There's a little tail. Look at that little tail going up there. There we go. Don't worry, little buddy. We'll find a home for you. And I'm also finding cocoons like mad. Go ahead, go down there. Join your friends. There we go. All right, don't worry. I'll pick him up later. Okay, so here it's too wet, but look at this. This is after the castings have gone through the 1/8 inch sifter. Oh my goodness, isn't that wonderful? Aren't I going to have a great time using this? And my friend Patrick over at Vermicompost Learn by Doing, sorry Patrick, said he uses 20% worm castings, 40% potting soil of some sort, and then another 40% compost. So I have to get hot on my compost. But I was also listening to someone else. Oh, it was Clive's Conundrum, Jason, and he does 40-40-20, but his 40 is he uses leaf mold, which leaf mold, you know, one of the two. And I wanted to show you that. And this is my Drake elm leaves, and I brought them in, and they went through, and I was taking them and I put them through the and I let them dry, and then I put them through my NutriBullet, and this is what I was getting. Very beautiful. I think they would be great. The worms would like them. Occasionally, if it wasn't crumbling up something, and I was getting a little bit of a twig. But this morning, what I did is I took those and I took them through the 1/4 inch sieve, and whoa, game changer. Look at that. Can you imagine if I add that to my worms and my potting soil? What a great combination that would be for starting seeds. Now my new thing is I was up by the lake. You guys, I've taken you up to the lake, and there's bald cypress trees up there. Now bald cypress trees, just like any cypress trees, but bald cypress trees grow throughout the South. I'm not sure how far up in the United States they grow. I don't know if they grow elsewhere in the world. But here's what I was picking up. This is how they drop. And this is their time here to drop. A few other little leaves going along. Pretty, isn't it? That looks like an elm or an oak. different type of oak. Anyway, that's what's up there anyway. Oh, it might be a sweet gum. Might be a sweet gum leaf. Anyway, this was how how they dropped. So I brought it home and I put it through the NutriBullet. And you can see it broke it down into almost needle-like. And then I just put those through the sifter, and you can see how much finer. It's almost like, let me just get to the bottom, because the bottom part is really very, very fine. It's not something I'd use maybe for planting seedlings. I mean, planting seeds. But although I think any seed could get by it. But I have to tell you, if you guys have any access to these cypress trees, when you're picking them up, I mean, the fragrance is Christmas tree. You know, it just has that wonderful, wonderful fragrance. And then when you put it through the NutriBullet, my whole kitchen smelled like that. And then just now when I was grinding them with the 1/4-inch sieve, it was like, oh wow, it's Christmas all over again. So anyway, that was my evaluation of this. This was a really good investment. If I were only going to buy one and I had worms, I think the 1/4-inch would probably, I'm sorry, the 1/8 inch would probably be the one that I would buy. If I were going to, you know, because I've seen the ones that are, it's a solid piece and it's a little bit smaller. If I were going to buy two, I would buy, and they came as the solids, I would buy the 1/4-inch and the 1/8 inch. I see no reason to, because I've seen them and they're like $25 a piece to buy one and it's solid. So I would probably buy the, I don't know, maybe just the 1/4-inch. Maybe that would be, if I only had one to buy and not worry about taking it to the fine stage. But this is real hard to resist. This is taking it down to the 1/8 inch, and I think that's beautiful. I think, to me, it was worth it. I've been sifting for days. I have been wearing gloves, and I think I've just about worn the fingertips bare, because when I do put it in the sifter, and it comes out. Let me just do a handful for you. I mean, you can see, even if you're sifting it, look at the chunks that you're getting. I'm taking my hands and breaking it up. So instead of taking my bare hands and doing it, I'm wearing gloves. So anyway, that was just my whole, for anybody who was interested in this. I think that it came, I don't think I have any information on the box. Kind of came by itself. Oh wait, here. Made in China. Garden riddle sieve. Garden soil. Is that what that says? I'm trying to read. Garden riddle sieve. Yep. And you see the number, etc., on there if you wanted to look it up. So, just a real quickie. It's a beautiful day. I'm trying to get my grow pots. Rick gave me grow pots last April for my birthday, and I have been holding on to them because I really didn't want to spend $80 or $90 to fill 6 grow pots with some good potting soil. I really wanted to try and make my own. And as you can see, the sun is shining and it's a beautiful day out there, and my moringas look just gorgeous. So I'll leave you with that. I hope you guys will subscribe, ring the bell, and watch the full video. I would really appreciate it. I hope you'll leave your comments in the bottom. I always answer. And take care, everybody. Talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.